Happy New Year to all of you. It's so good to be back with all of you in 2026. This is Ruby John from Pakistan. And today, before I share my thought with all of you, I was recalling my childhood. Growing up as a young girl, my dad really helped me to memorize certain verses from the Bible. And one of my favorite verses is Proverbs chapter 3, verse 6. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. The beginning of New Year often brings fresh plans, renewed goals, and hopeful expectations. We think about direction, destiny, and path we hope to walk. Yet, Scripture gently reminds us that true direction does not begin with planning. It begins with acknowledging God. To acknowledge Him is more than mentioning God in prayer. It is to consciously recognize His authority, presence, and wisdom in every area of our life. It means inviting God into our decisions, relationships, work, ministry, finances, and even our uncertainties and challenges of life. Acknowledgement is an act of surrender that says, Lord, you are not just part of my life, you are Lord over my life. Biblically, acknowledgement involves trust and obedience. Proverbs 3:5 calls us lean not on our own understanding. When we acknowledge God, we admit the limits of our wisdom and choose dependence over control. This posture reshapes our priorities, align our desires with God's will, and teaches us to listen before we act. God's promise is clear. When we acknowledge Him in all our ways, He will direct our paths. This does not mean that road will always be easy or predictable, but it will be purposeful. Divine direction often unfolds step by step. God does not always reveal the entire journey, but He faithfully orders each step for those who trust Him. Just as He guided Israel by a pillar of cloud and fire, giving light only for the next stage of the journey. Dear friends, as we step into this new year 2026, the call is not simply to ask God to bless our plans, but to allow Him to shape our paths. God's direction often includes correction, pruning, and waiting. Yet, these moments are not signs of delay, they are evidence of His care and love for us. When God directs, He aligns us with His will, protects us from paths that harm us, and lead us into growth, fruitfulness, and deeper dependence on Him. To walk a divinely directed year, we must also learn to acknowledge God in ordinary moments, not just in major decisions. Daily obedience, faithful service, integrity in hidden places, and humility in leadership are all ways we acknowledge Him. Small acts of faithfulness often determine the larger direction of our lives. So what is the application for New Year? Begin each day with surrender. Ask God to direct your thoughts, words, and decisions before making plans. Invite God into every area. Refuse to compartmentalize faith. Acknowledge Him in work, family, ministry, and rest. Pause before major decisions. Seek scripture, prayer, and godly counsel rather than rushing ahead. Trust in God in uncertainty. When path is unclear, remain obedient in what God has already revealed to you. And finally, walk in daily faithfulness. Remember that God often directs through consistent, small steps of obedience. This year, may our greatest commitment be this: to acknowledge God first, daily and fully. And as we do, we can walk forward with confidence, knowing that our paths are not random, self made, or driven by fear, but divinely directed and purposefully destined by a faithful God. May God bless you. Thank you.